Can't see you, Doyle, just your eyeball.
Maybe that's all he wants us to see.
That's true.
Your right eyeball. We see your right eyeball very nicely.
You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
So question for everybody on the call. Did y'all join from the email that was sent out today?
Yes.
Okay, Rich
Yep.
is having a problem. He says it's telling him there's another meeting going on right now.
Can't see you, Doyle, just your eyeball.
That's all he wants us to see. There's
That's true. Come on, drop it lower. Drop the camera lower.
Keep going.
Oh, he's out. There.
Hey,
Jeff.
You can hear me okay?
yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
Hey, can somebody? Question for everybody on the call. Did y'all join from the email that was sent out today?
Yes.
Oh, we got some.
Yep.
Rich is having a problem. He says it's telling him there's another meeting I think it's doubling up on me. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, it sounds like we're getting feedback from YouTube.
There we go.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Pretty good. Hey, Ron.
Can somebody send Rich the link again and let's see if that works for him? Because he's having a hard time getting in.
Jeff.
He probably got the one that
Yes.
That what?
he probably got the one that who was it? Somebody else sent out.
Yeah, I sent 2 emails today, one at noon and then one at like 5 with the same link in it.
Okay, I just forwarded it to him.
Okay, I'll tell him. Hey, Ron just forwarded it to you, Rich. Got my new watch, my new toy, so I like to use it as much as possible.
What kind of watch?
I got an Apple Watch.
Hey. You're
It
gonna love
even
it.
got a glow in the dark band so I can see it.
Yeah, that's great. You're gonna love it.
I already do. Oh, there's Rich, John Park, and Jeff P.
Well, you keep sinking in the west. Oh, there's Doyle. No,
Yep.
you lost him again.
Well, I see him on here. I just don't hear any audio. Who's on the dial-in only? Is that you, Harry?
AB5L.
Okay. For those of y'all that just joined, if you will, go into the chat feature here. Just put your name, your call sign, and whether you're a member or not. Don't know if we have any visitors or not. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, just go down in the contents and put your name and call and whether you're a visitor or not. That way we'll have a roster.
It's Steve. My gracious. Steve, I haven't seen you in months.
Well, he's retired now.
That's true.
He's got all kinds of time on his hands.
We've probably got all sorts of projects going. No, it's Steve. Yep.
Your mic's muted.
Yeah, I set it to do that.
Oh,
Hit
there
the
you
space bar
Oh, I got
Ah,
for to talk.
gotcha.
You know, old radio guy, right?
CQDX.
Well, there's Rich. Hello, Rich.
Howdy.
Howdy.
There's Muscle Man. NRHARC, or it may be North Richland Hills Amateur Radio Club. I forgot. Let me look.
Ask him to show you how he works on the parallel bars.
North Richland Hills Amateur Radio Club.
Rings.
3? Sweet. Does it say who? We got three people on YouTube.
When I look it up, it's the third thing that comes up. NRHARC, third thing comes up.
Okay. Come on, Chrome, close down, get out of the way. So, Rich, I've been meaning to get your tuner to you. I've been tied up the last couple of days.
That's okay. I don't need it.
Yeah, you got enough tuners over there, don't you?
Yes.
I tell you what, I like that little LDG. It's not very big, but I like it. It works good. The only thing it hadn't been able to tune is 160. So I'm okay with that. I don't do a lot of 160.
Wait till it's winter time.
Yeah. We'll see how it works then. Who knows? We'll give everybody a couple more minutes. My son said we had 3 people over on YouTube watching. Trying to see if anybody logged in, commented in. No comments. So if you're watching, leave a
Yeah, I'm
comment.
N5QL. Welcome this evening.
Hello.
Glad to have you a part of us.
Hello, hello.
There we go. All right. All right, I guess it's 7, 8 after. We'll go ahead and get started. I don't see anybody in the waiting room. Welcome, everyone, to our monthly virtual meeting, as it has been most of this year. Again, we're live streaming on YouTube also. So if you're listening and you want to watch and you don't have Zoom, go to YouTube and you can watch there. So do we have any visitors that anybody that's not a club member tonight? Wow. All members. I got to start sending out more emails, get some more people back involved. Okay, so we don't have any minutes from June because we didn't have a meeting because of field day. And I don't see our treasurer online. I really got to catch up with him. He hadn't been here in a while. See what's going on. Tom, you have anything you want to share with us?
No, other than I think we had that board meeting that there was just a few of us, but we got through it.
Good, good. I appreciate you taking care of that. I told him earlier before you joined, I didn't think about it, but I could have just dialed in and used the Bluetooth on my phone and went that way. I didn't even think about it.
Oh, that's a good point.
I appreciate you taking care of that for us. Anything that we need to know about that was discussed or?
No, not that I can recall. Not that I can recall. But we were talking about field day and I mean, there was a thought on mine is what the scores were and all of that.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
so
Rich may can give us a somewhat close summary. I don't know if he's got them all in yet, but maybe we can get that in a little bit. Well, I think we ended up with 11 people participating, which is a pretty good number. Of course, it was a lot easier since everybody could sit at home, but it was a lot. I had a lot of fun with it, so I enjoyed it. I wish I'd do it that way all the time. I know on the contest online scoreboard or whatever it was, I think we ended up 5th or 6th in the country on that. And the quote club that ended up number 1 only had 2 people, but one guy had like 10,000 points. I don't know how he was getting that many, but that's what he turned in. So he had more than our whole club by himself. So anything, okay. So I don't see Bob on tonight, so we won't have anything about the repeaters. Lowell's not going to be here tonight, but he did say he's going to look at starting up a general class, try to get one set up here soon. I know we've had two or three sessions, online testing sessions, and I think we've already had like 4 people get their license. We had one gentleman that came in with nothing, ended up with a general, and he went ahead and took his extra. He didn't pass it, but he took it anyway. So he's ready to start studying for that one. But everybody else, I think, everybody else that's taken it has passed. I may be wrong, but I think everybody's that's taken it has passed. It's gone really good. I've been reaching out to a couple of people on Facebook looking for online testing sessions. Tell them when they're ready to contact us, and we'll be glad to set them up and let them take it. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the online sessions also. There are people out there saying you gotta have two cameras no matter what. That's just not the truth. There's just a lot of misinformation. So hopefully we can get some more people from there. I don't think Hugh's online tonight. Let's see. We got 16 so far. I don't see him online. So we won't have anything on the emergency. I don't know when we're going to get to meet back in person. I know schools are going down through September 28th. So I doubt we'll be able to do anything before then. So we may not even have an in-person meeting this year since the election night. So, and our PIO, Christine, I don't know if you have anything, but I do have something for you. The list you keep asking me for, I no longer have access to generate that list for you, but your dad does. And if he can't figure out how to do it or can't do it, catch up with Bob and he'll do it for you.
All right, we'll look into that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think as president, you'd have access to pretty much everything, but I lost access to all the reports pretty much when I moved up.
Oh, you don't have access to the underground bunker?
No, I lost the key. And so they had to make a new one and change the lock, so I don't have that key. So anyway, anybody out there got any announcements they want to share with us?
Not here.
Nothing for me.
I guess I would like to welcome N5QL. Jim, he's been a regular on the net. He lives about 4 blocks north of me. And have you ever been to an active live meeting, Jim, or you just pay your dues online? You're muted.
How
There
about,
you go. You can go ahead.
well, I used to come to the meetings and my health got so bad I can't get around. So, I still want to be a member, and the Zoom thing's kind of good for me because I can at least see somebody.
Well, Jim, you'll be glad to know that if we ever get to start back in person, our plans are to continue doing the Zoom.
Okay.
Also, for people like you that may have health issues or can't whatever and just can't make it, but they want to watch in and listen in. Our plans are to continue that even once we're able to go back to in-person meetings.
Great. Fantastic.
We want to make it available to anybody that wants to participate and either watch or listen or whatever they feel like doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, I've got something, if it's all right.
Sure, go ahead.
So for those that like contests and stuff like that, Texas has the big contest coming up in September. It's always been the last weekend, but they've changed it. And this year it's going to be 12-13 September, which is the Texas QSO party.
Oh, okay.
And it's a really fun contest to operate. It's one of my favorite. And the great thing is people always want to work Texas. They do try to get as many of the 254 counties lit up, mostly via rovers. But it's a great contest. So if that's something that it's in a couple of months, so you can kind of start working around your calendar and those kind of things if you want to get on it. It's not a marathon type contest. They actually on Saturday evenings, suspend it and then restart it on Sunday. Part of the reason why is they don't, want people driving and doing the roving and stuff like that, later at night, for safety reasons. But they moved it mostly because of the RITI contest that's always on in the end of September. So just encourage those that like to do that. We'll submit our scores as North Richland Hills as well, and go from there.
Cool. Speaking of contests, how'd you do in that last one, a couple of weeks ago that you ran?
The IARU, I think I did all right. Probably not as good. I didn't win North Texas, but I did in 08, and then I got third place a couple other years as well. But that's a fun contest as well.
Okay, cool.
But I can't remember what my score was.
Hey, Jeff, if you'll send me that information, I'll put it on the club calendar on the email one where it emails you out and reminds you.
Okay, yeah, sure will.
And any others that y'all are interested in participating as a club, let's get them on a calendar where people can get reminded, and maybe we can start doing more contests, because those are fun. I mean, I'm not good at it, but they're still fun. All right. Anybody else?
Jeff, this is Doyle. You hear me now?
I can hear you now, Doyle. Did you get my message on Facebook?
Yes, I did. I'm not sure what I need to do.
Catch up with me afterwards, and I'll walk you through generating a summary file that you can send to Rich.
Okay.
Hey Doyle,
Yes.
I sent you an email.
Okay.
So if you have any questions, you can get a hold of me and I'll walk you through it.
Okay, that'll be fine. Well, I'm having trouble. This is the first time I've been able to use Zoom. I'm not sure. Right now it says I have no video, but my microphone is good.
Do you have a camera on your computer?
I'm on a cell phone.
Okay. You might have to enable your camera down at the bottom. If you move well, I don't know about on the phone. I have to defer on that. There should be a place to stop and start your video.
I've been here all along. I just haven't been able to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, he had video earlier.
Yeah, and I don't think I do now.
No.
Let me see, move something here and see this video again.
Yeah, touch your screen and it should give you the menu stuff on the periphery.
Not getting there. I'll play with it a little bit more.
Okay. So earlier this year, before this thing went crazy, as a board, we talked about doing a 15th anniversary thing this year. And there you go, Doyle. You got your picture up now.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, with the video and the audio. Okay, good.
Yep. Gotcha. We talked about doing a 15th anniversary thing and also a back to school thing over at the library and trying to do some demos. Not sure any of that's going to happen yet because, like I said, they won't even let the schools go back in person until the 28th. So I don't know. We'll just kind of have to wait and play that by ear unless somebody has an idea of somewhere that might let us have that many people. So that's the other two things that I can think of right now. Anybody else?
Just a reminder about our Discord server for those that haven't used it.
Yes, if you need an invite, get with me and I'll send you one. I've sent it out a couple of times. It doesn't expire, but if you've lost email, shoot me an email and I'll get you one. Yeah, we use that a lot during field day and a couple of the contests and during VE sessions. So it's pretty cool. Anything else?
Jeff, before you leave, I worked you this afternoon on 20 meters.
Yeah.
I was running the lowest power I could run on the flex into a dummy load.
Really? That's pretty good. The one thing about my new tuners, I can't go over 30 watts on digital. It won't handle over 30 watts on digital. It'll have 125 on sideband and anything else, but digital, it'll only do 30. So that's probably a good thing anyway. You don't really need much more than that. Unless you're just really trying to get some guy in the middle of a cave in the backwoods of some foreign country. So
yeah, I use my linear when I'm working some rare DX on 160 or so.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question.
Okay.
To Does anybody use a remote antenna switch, like have the switch out by your antenna farm and you can switch between various antennas from the shack?
Yeah, I used to.
Brian does now.
I use them.
I use them.
What kind?
I've got a DX engineering one.
Yeah, that's what I have. Eight port.
Oh, it's 8-port. Okay, I don't need 8 ports.
Yeah,
I
you just put dummy loads on them.
just need a couple of ports.
You're just not ambitious enough. You could
Yeah.
have wires
Well,
hanging
there
everywhere.
is an NFJ unit, relatively inexpensive. I think it's $70 or something like that. And it works typically by putting DC down the down the coax, and the switch is at the other end, and it switches back and forth between 2 ports.
I had a
So-
heat kit.
I'm gonna
Ameritron
set that up.
has, Ameritron has one that does 4 and runs the DC down the cable.
Right, that's what this does,
Nice.
but it doesn't have 4.
It has 4 outputs. 4. You could use
That's
4 antennas.
And that's a Meritron?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll look
I
that
think
up.
RSCV-4.
CV-4, okay. I shall copy that down, RSCV-4.
I might have to make a note of that myself, even though I only have one antenna.
Well, they've got a 5 one and an 8 one also, but those require control cables.
Right,
I've been using the 5 one for probably 10 years or so.
that works pretty good.
You said
Works
that
great.
Meritron?
Yes.
A Meritron, yeah.
Very cool. Okay, anybody else got anything? All right. Rich, were you going to talk about the contest and field day at any at all tonight?
Sure, I've got a PowerPoint. You're just gonna have to tell me how to
To
Whatever.
share it?
share the screen or whatever.
Bottom
Have
of
your
the screen,
computer?
there is a share screen. Get your PowerPoint ready to go.
Oh, it's ready.
Then click the share screen at the bottom and it'll give you the things on your desktop.
All righty. There it is.
And then you click the share screen. There you go.
You see it?
Got it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Have to make my.
So let's back up a little bit. Everybody can hear me still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, we did the winter field day, and we were set up as a 5I. I think last year we did a 3I, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we went 5I just for kicks. And as you can see in North Texas, we were number 4 or 3, something like that. Number 4 in North Texas as 5I. So you can kind of see the numbers there. It's about what we did the year before. You know, we had a lot of fun. I think there was about 4 or 5 of us that worked it. And, but you know, it's a departure. It gives us something to do during the winter time. And we had a lot of fun doing that. We did it at the fire department. And again, we had a lot of fun doing that. Did we need to do 5I? Probably not. You know, next year if we do it, you know, maybe we go back to 3I or something like that. We can discuss that. But overall, we were number 1 in North Texas as 5I and number 4 overall. So that kind of gives you an idea where we were. I don't think the band conditions were all that good, if I remember correctly. I've slept since then, but we still did pretty good. Moving on, winter field day, we can put that one in the calendar as well. Will be January 30, 31 on 2021. That's if we can meet. Who knows what's going on in January. But anyway, that's right now the plan and what's in the schedule for next year.
Yeah, Rich, if you will go to the slideshow, it'll give us a full screen of this and not show the stuff to the left.
Okay, well, I thought I did. Hang on. That's what I thought I did. You got full screen now?
It's coming. No, no.
Okay, hang on. Let me figure out how I can get full screen.
Slideshow, just click the slideshow and then click from current. There you go. Click from current slide. And
that's what I was doing before. Now is it full screen?
no.
All right.
Yeah, I think you're on presenter view. But it's okay. I mean, I can see it, so.
Slideshow from beginning. That's normally what I do. And on my screen, it's full screen. Let's see here.
Yeah, it's just not doing it.
Huh. Okay.
Strange.
Yeah. Okay. So in June, we were busy with contests.
Yes.
We did the June VHF contest. John talked us into it. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
We actually had a lot of fun. And these were the scores. These are raw scores at ARRL at the moment.
Rich, we're still back on slide 1.
Yeah, if you've moved forward in the slides, it's not showing the change at all.
Okay, let's do this.
There we go.
Now you got it?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, I see. There's another control. I'm looking at 4 different screens here, so you got to give me a break.
You're also in presenter view, so you're seeing the next slide coming up.
Yeah. That's okay. Anyway, so there are our scores for the people that were in the contest, and actually we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Had about 14,273 points. Of course, I don't have the raw club score yet. That's not been posted. That might be another month or 2 months. Who knows when we'll see that. But we did quite well. Fortunately, 6 meter was hopping that day, and we took advantage of it.
Yeah.
So, but that was a lot of fun. Okay, let's see if this works. There we go.
There we go.
So what I did is I did break it down. They do have this information available. So I took everybody that was in the contest, and each of us were operating in different modes. So this was single operator 3-band. So Wayne, Jeff, and Jeff. I've got it broken down in North Texas, what your position was. In call area 5, what your position was, and this is everybody that was in the contest, what your position was. So that kind of gives you an idea. It looks like in North Texas, in single band 3 or single operator 3-band, we got 8, 9, and 10 all in a row. Looks pretty good.
Which is kind of odd, Rich, because if you look at area 5, we're 33, 31, and 33, and 42.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. So in the next category, which was single operator high power, Brian was number 6, 23 and 284, and low was not high power. He just clicked the wrong button and there's no way to go back and change it. So what you see is what you get. So anyway, he was in number 10, 30, and 428. And then in the last category, single operator low power, that was me, Ron, and John. There's our positions. So yeah, all in all, I think we did quite well. And for the first time that I think the club actually has participated in this particular contest. I thought we did quite well. I'm kind of anxious to see what the final score will be for the club. I think we did quite well on our first go around. So any comments from the peanut gallery that participated?
Yeah, I'd like to say two things. First of all, it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed seeing VHF activity around the area. I was amazed at how many VHF stations we can work directly here if you can get them on the air. And the second thing is, next time around, if we do this again, we should coordinate some FM simplex, get more club members involved, and get more contact scores just simply by chatting to one another around the area. That's legal in this contest.
Sure. Yeah, I think this was a learning experience. I think each of us had different takes on how we accomplished what we did. I know I did. Obviously, like Ron and myself, we have beams, and so we were taking advantage of that.
Of course.
Whatever. So, but there was some interesting things, and maybe before next year, we as a group can talk about some
strategy that'll get us better scores.
Yeah, and how we can do better. Looking at some of the other scores that were posted, some of them are pretty astronomical. We look at this and go, oh, we did pretty good. Well, you ought to see what first, second, third place, we're sitting at. They were in, hundreds of thousands of points. It's crazy. But
well, VHF, for example, in New England is totally different from VHF in North Texas, and VHF in North Texas is radically more active than areas like northern Idaho.
Right.
Had a friend who moved from Dallas-Fort Worth area up to North Idaho, had 5 contacts on 3 bands in northern Idaho, and placed first in the VHF contest.
That's like the guy that took first place in the contest. And of course, he was the only one in the contest.
Indeed.
Again, John, I'm glad you brought it up. I think we all had a lot of fun at this, and this is something that we'll put in the schedule for next year. And
I think it has the potential of helping us get some of the technicians on the air.
Absolutely.
Even if all you're working with is a J pole on a 25-foot paint pole, that 25 feet really extends the range a bit.
Yep. And let's see what I've got on my next slide here. I can't remember. Oh, so there is a VHF contest in September. And
yes.
So I think Jeff was saying that there was the Texas QSO normally on the last weekend. Well, this is the last. Wait a minute now.
No, the Texas QSO party and this are on the same weekend.
Yeah, they're on the same weekend. Yeah, I just noticed that. So, anyway, so we'll have to think about that, which one we might want to work. But anyway, I happened to pick this up when I was going through the schedule that there was another VHF contest coming up in September. So anyway,
I think there's also one in January.
Yes, there is. There is, absolutely. So, maybe we work the QSO in September and then work VHF in January along with the winter field day. So, but yeah, let's get more people involved. Anyway, so moving on, let me move my mouse here. This is what I have based on what people have sent me so far. This was field day this year. we have some big numbers, obviously. So I kind of threw this together real quick. You can kind of see the numbers. These are kind of raw scores based on what you guys sent me. They may not be exactly on the number, but you know, by the time it all comes out in the wash, sometime around late November, December, we'll find out exactly how we did. But right now, without Doyle's numbers, and I'm not quite sure what they were, we're at around 2,700 contacts and somewhere around 7,800 points.
Rich, I don't see my name up there. Tom, AB5ZJ.
That's a good question. Did you send me that stuff?
I sure did.
Okay, so I'm gonna need to add you then.
Yeah. I had 140 points, 140 contacts.
Okay, 140 contacts and then whatever. Well, that's all digital?
It was all digital.
So that's another 280 points. That puts us over 8,000 points already.
Yeah, because it's for digital, it's actually 2 times 2, which is basically times 4, and then whatever the other was, if it was voice or whatever.
Well, and
Right.
also if you turn it in online through their site, you get an extra 50 points also.
Correct. And I don't have that on here, and everybody obviously did it online, so it's going to be like 11 or 12 times 50 extra points.
Well, if you don't have mine, I'll try to send it again. I've got the, I've got everything still.
Well, part of my problem is sometimes your emails, it's nobody's fault, gets buried into somebody else's email. And I've got 2 email addresses that were the information was being sent to, which was kind of complicating things. So sometimes I can't find it because it's buried in another email from somebody else. And so I had to go back through a lot of emails trying to find some of this stuff. So, but I appreciate you telling me that, Tom, and I'll get that put in here and get this up.
That should help a little bit. I know, I actually, in actual contacts, I had over 220, but I could only claim 240 because of the rules. And, people drop out when you're in the middle of a contact and they don't respond back. You can't count them.
Right.
Rich, this is Doyle.
Yep.
I had 119, and I'll get it to you on writing. I'm thinking of memory. 119 CW, I think 11 phone, and all low power. So that's totally was 500 and some points.
It's actually more than that, but it would be somewhere in there. I'll do the calculations. But one of the problems that I have right now, and this is not, this has been a unique situation. Of course, we have our aggregate score that's going to our club call sign. And of course, we did have the W5R that we didn't really use. But there were clubs out there that had put in points through their club call sign as a 1D. And that's probably to pick up things like, some of the extra points that you can do, like sending out information via the, Facebook or whatever. Part of the problem there is I've been trying to load that data and it won't take it unless I put the breakdown scores in there. And I'm not even sure if it'll still take it. So I'm not quite sure how they're doing that. Is it a big deal? No, we're probably only talking maybe 100 or 200 points, as long as they aggregate all the scores based on our input to K5 NRH, I think we're going to be okay. It's kind of a strange year for, field day that you're trying to load all this stuff. So, but anyway, we'll find out. I'll try to load that tonight or tomorrow. It has to be in by tomorrow. If it doesn't go, okay, so what? Maybe we don't get another 100 or 200 points, no big deal. I think that was my last slide. So anyway, all in all, I think everybody had fun doing this, and it was interesting working from home, that's for sure. And let me go back to full screen here. There we go. And anyway, let me.
Anybody hear me? Hello?
Yep.
Yeah,
No, we can't hear you.
Oh, I'm back. My internet crashed. Sorry about that.
I was wondering who Samsung was.
Huh?
I said, I wondered who the user Samsung was.
That's me. I heard the presentation though, which is good. I was looking forward to that.
Good to see you, Dave.
Good to be seen.
Interesting call sign, N95DU.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I worked about 3 grease stations while I was waiting for my PC to reboot. Little FT8's hot tonight.
Yeah.
That's good.
So one of the kind of observations this year is, you know, one of the, Rick Roderick, he's, the president of ARRL, right? K5 UR. He said this is, the first time since 1933 that the ARRL had field day, and it wasn't really quote unquote like field day like they normally have. So it's it's kind of interesting, the first time almost, in almost 90 years that it's different. I think everybody did a pretty good job, being flexible and those kind of things, and that's unique. One of the things that I kind of found out is I've never really worked digital. Tom's always worked digital at field, at field day, right? He sits over in a casita trailer and runs all of his little show over there, and that's really good. And in the past, it was always PSK or something like that, right? Or RIDI or whatever Tom does in his Magic Shack. This year, I was kind of running FT8 for the first time during field day, and I'm like, it just takes so long to get a contact. So what I wound up doing was changing to FT4, which is 2X, and on 10 meters, I worked almost half of my 300 contacts on 10 meters running FT4, and I never had to change. I was just like doing FT4, and every 15 seconds, you can do an exchange versus every 30 seconds, and so that I think that really helped. So if you want to do digital, don't use FT8, use FT4, I think is the lesson that I found.
Yeah, for the contest, I used FT4. And when that didn't work, sometimes it wouldn't work. People wouldn't come back to you, you'd miss them. So I'd switch over to FT8. And the combination worked all right. It was just the dropouts. Gosh, I had enormous dropouts. People wouldn't respond coming back to you, and they acknowledge you were there, but they wouldn't give you that 73 you're supposed to have.
Yeah,
that's pretty normal.
I think Ron, didn't you work the majority of your contacts was mostly 6 meter?
Oh yeah. In fact, that's all I did was 6 meters.
Yeah. So there you go.
there was a lot of activity on all the bands though. A lot. You could just pick a band and go.
It's surprising now the bands are dead, but as soon as there's a contest, they come right out of the woodwork.
Yeah, the only band I was not able to make a contact on was 160. I tried my darndest, but I just couldn't get 160. It wasn't really that active, but I was trying. But all the other bands I was able to work, both FT8 and FT4.
So the last you're doing a contest, do digital so you can rack up the points.
Absolutely.
I think it also goes to prove that maybe some people's home stations are a lot better than what we set up temporarily. But
that one guy, he was like 10,000 points by himself. I was like,
and some of our home stations are not.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I did everything on a Hustler BTV5. You know, that's all I got at the house now. You know.
But the thing about digital is you don't have to have a lot of power. If you got a half decent antenna, you can work a lot of places.
It was just, you know, off a vertical. So
Yeah.
Well, horizontally, I just left the beam in one direction and I was working everybody.
Even off the backside.
Off the backside too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for the presentation there, Rich. That was really good. I was curious how many points we had. So now we know with Tom's and probably Doyle's, we're going to be close to 9,000 points. That's pretty good. All right,
We've
racks
never,
up against
we've never had
everybody
it
else.
that high.
Yeah, that's like somebody was saying, it's amazing when you're working with your own equipment at home, what you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't bring that beam and turn it around at the fire station.
Well, we've
Nope.
tried a couple of years ago. We had a A3 up on a 70-foot hydraulic tower. We used a rotator to turn it, but you know, it's not quite the same.
No. Cool. All right. Has anybody else got anything else they want to share? We'll get out of here in under an hour tonight. Come on, somebody's got to share. We got at least 5 minutes left to get an hour.
Why you need a topic?
Well, usually, you know, guys, is field day recap anyway, and that's usually about all we have. So,
Yeah. Well, what I'm still looking for, and I'm sorry I couldn't get together with Rich the way the timing and everything was, but I'm looking for a way to put more power into my magnetic loop antenna to see how it's operating. And I don't have that kind of power here. So I was willing to bring it over. It's very portable. I could bring it over, and I got enough coaxial cable, I believe, that I could connect in the house, and it just needs to be put outside on the lawn. Maybe I'll bring a paint bucket. All it needs is just a couple of feet off the ground to make it work right. And the tuner, you know, the tuning mechanism, and it's got about 100 feet of that control line. So anybody willing to have a higher power, like maybe 400 watts or so, I'll bring the thing over.
I'd be curious to see the plans for that and how to build one. I've always wanted to build one, but I don't have the plans or probably the knowledge to do it.
Well, I have a lot of it on QRZ. If you want to go to my website there, I just uploaded a lot of new video. I'm sorry, new pictures, and updated my site. With the exception of where my ham shack is now, I'll be updating that as well because I'm now upstairs. So I got to operate everything remotely. So other than just where I'm located, everything is identical. But the pictures I uploaded are all brand new stuff, showing the new configuration of the antenna and the location on the ground and so forth.
Okay.
So
Hey, are you using copper pipe or coax to make your magnetic loop?
You can use coax. You can use copper pipe or coax, but there are drawbacks with each of them. And ideally, if you want efficiency, you know, if you're chasing efficiency, let's put it that way, the bigger the diameter, up to about 3 inches, is diameter of the actual secondary coil, is very good if you can get it that big. And a lot of people buy these straps of copper strap about 40, 50 feet, and they wind it around a 2 or 3 inch foam tubing that is used in the plumbing business or in the sprinkler business. And that's the way they've been making these things. It's a little bit expensive to buy that much copper, but once you get it up and running, its efficiency is pretty high. Now mine is flex tubing that I got from the junkyard at where I work. And it's got a 1 1/4 inch diameter tubing. So its efficiency is fairly high, but wouldn't be as high as 3 inches or 2 inches of helical wound copper foil. That's about maybe 2 inches wide, wrapped around with space in between, maybe about 1/4 inch spacing. You just wrap it around and connect it to a variable capacitor of some kind. You got yourself a real good magnetic loop antenna.
Those are
Right now I've got, I'm at 1.0 to 1
Wow.
on the SWR.
Is that single band?
Huh?
Is that single band only, each one?
No, I can go from 40 meters through 15. I can't quite get to 10. I
Okay.
can't get to 10.
Make it bigger.
Now, I've done a lot of testing, as you guys know, over the years with magnetic loops, and I've compared them with my long wire, which is the only thing I have. And there are days that I swear the magnetic loop didn't even work compared to the long wire. And then all of a sudden it flipped around and the magnetic loop was hearing better than the long wires. So I've come to the conclusion, a lot of it has to do with the way the propagation is hitting your QTH, what angle of radiation, because it's got a vertical and a horizontal axis in the magnetic and electron domain. And however that hits you can depend on just how much signal is injected into the receiving antenna. So I've been experimenting with that kind of stuff too. And that's a fascinating world. But in the long run, I can hear what I can hear. I can 95% talk to on the mag loop.
Hey, that sounds like a club meeting for next month, the topic.
Yeah. Does it matter if you rotate it as well?
People say it does, but I've rotated mine and I haven't had any real honest to goodness increase in receiver readings or SWR readings going out, listening at the other end. I have not seen that happen with my particular setup. And when you look at the transmission pattern and the reception pattern, there's some indication that it should be sensitive. But again, a lot has to do with the day of the propagation that you're playing with. It can be very dicey. And, in this world today, it's tough with the sunspot cycles the way they are. But somebody told me in some experimentation, you can't turn it more than 2 inches. You got to be able to move it 2 inches at a time to make that experiment. And I wasn't doing that. I was moving at 5 and 10 inches. So that's another experiment I'll try and see if I can hone in on that.
Cool.
Now, theoretically, there's a null in one particular direction, but you've got to figure out where that null is. And you're not going to know where the null is because you're not going to hear the stations at the other end.
Well, it's like I say, a lot more experimentation. And the other way to do it is I've got a good field strength meter now, and that field strength meter works really, really well. And I'm going to rotating it and watching the field strength meter positioned in a certain position, a certain distance away. And I'm going to see if I see the meter move. I'll need my binoculars because I'm going to put it a little bit further away so I can really get a test out of it.
Well, how much
We'll
power?
see.
How much power do you put through it now?
Right now, I'm doing 100 watts.
Okay.
How much can you put through it?
What's that?
How much can you put through it?
Theoretically, I should be able to go up to 1 kW.
Okay.
Depends on
because
the
I've
depends
got-
on the capacitor.
I've got the Russian variable capacitor, and I have is rated at 25 kVA. And that's the rating. They say it'll go higher, even as high as 50 kVA. Well, there's a lot of voltage at the bottom end of that where the capacitor is. And you really, even at 100 watts, you got to stay away from it because it really goes up exponentially. So, but where I have it sitting, only the jackrabbits will get it right now. Backyard.
We had fried rabbits then if you keyed it at the right time with the rabbit there.
Yeah. But the thing is, what has drawn my attention to it is it's so difficult to factor in all of the things that are variable on this type of antenna.
Yeah.
The way you tune it, how you build your secondary coil, where you locate your primary coil, how big around is the primary coil, what shape is the primary coil in. It's all kinds of variables that you run into that are just fun to sit around and sit down and play with. I have, of course, my trusty AAS AA600. My AA600 is what I use to really get a good handle on what that antenna's SWR is and all the other characteristics. And something like this, even a cheaper one, will work for helping you out. But you need to get stuff like this to play with it. Otherwise, if you put a long wire up, like I have, is a high gain. Is it called a high end fed? 65 foot. It runs 40 meters. It runs 20, 10, 15, and 10. It's just 4 bands. And you don't have to tune it. It's less than 1.2 to 1. So you don't have to tune it. But that's no fun. You throw a wire up in the air and you're on the air. Come on.
Tom, don't share all your secrets tonight. You can do it the presentation next month.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's a lot more. I've got a lot more. I can certainly do that. You put it on the agenda, and that way I can start planning for it. And,
Well, we had
I
planned. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, if you put it on the agenda, I'll do it.
Okay. Well, we had originally planned to do something in August with the schools, back to school at the library and all that, but that doesn't look like it's going to work because they're not even going back to school till the end of September as far as in person. So yeah, if you would plan on doing that for August, and then we'll see how it goes in September, and we'll try to find something for them if we have to. Because I'm interested in those antennas a lot. I think they don't take up a lot of room, and everything I've read, they work really, really good.
I'll go to my QRZ, AB5ZJ, go to QRZ, pull it up, and you'll see pretty, like within the last couple of months.
Okay, we'll do that.
See all the new, you'll see all the new pictures of the antenna. And it truly is 1 foot off the ground. I mean, I've worked as far as Europe with that thing sitting at 1 foot off the ground.
Wow. I need a couple of those. Imagine if you put it up 2 foot off the ground, you might could work yourself coming in the back door.
Well, I actually got out there, and people were ribbing me so much about getting it 1 foot off the ground. So I went out and put it 2 feet off the ground. So it's a little bit higher than what the picture shows.
Okay. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to share tonight? It's how we learn from each other.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
This goes for I guess both Jeffs. I'm just reading the Texas QSO party rules here. How many people, I'm just curious, how many people might be interested in doing the Texas QSO party?
When is it, Neil?
Second week of September.
Really?
Yep.
I'd be
One of my
interested in it.
favorites.
Jeff P, were you gonna?
It's
Jeff,
one of
were
my
you gonna-
favorites. I got third once. I got third place. So it's one of my favorite contests. It's a lot of fun. And the good thing is, if you're in Texas and it's not like the other contests where, if it's your state and you're on a frequency, then people want to talk to you. You're not battling a bunch of guys like if you're trying to do the 7th call area or something like that. Here, they want to talk to Texas.
Is it?
So it's a little easier unless you get by the guys that are running their, nets for the last 50 years, and they can't, spend the VFO any.
Really?
But that's the good thing is you don't really get bumped off.
Is this all band?
Hey, there
Yeah,
it is. That's the one.
Very nice.
So
Who pulled
yeah, it's
that
a fun
up?
contest.
I've
Is
got
it half
it.
inch
I've got
hard
it
line,
up.
Tom?
Huh?
Is that 1/2 inch hard line?
1/2 inch hard. Where do you see that?
The coax cable, the rim, that's hard line.
No, it's copper
That's
tubing.
flex cable. That's flex cable. It's 1 1/4 inches, and it bends.
Okay, 1 1/4 inch, okay.
Right. And what you see it connected to is actual copper tubing that just happened to be very close to what the vacuum variable capacitor is connected to. And it's tied in, and you can't see it in the white. That's what is it? It's a board that you use to
Cutting board?
cut things on. Yeah. And I put all that stuff together that way, and that was cheap. But there's a screw that goes down and locks that thing in on both sides so that the vacuum variable capacitor is actually held by 2 screws. And then I cut a hole in that copper pipe that the flex tubing is connected to. You can see a chain that goes down. It's that there. Yeah, that's a plastic chain. And I'm going to make some improvements, and we'll talk about that next month. I've got some improvements to make. But underneath everything is the you can see it underneath it is the NEMA 17 stepper motor. So I control everything from the hand shack. You could there's a picture of me or something sitting in there. I forgot where it is now, but I don't have it. Yeah, there's that. That picture right there is the picture that you can see 2 different pictures there. The one above and the one below is the magnetic loop. The one on the top is a high-end fed antenna. You can see going across, it's just a little less than 1.5 to 1.
Yeah.
And if you look at the magnetic loop, you'll see it's dipped down almost 1 to 1, 1.04 to 1. But look at this, look at the steep slope. I mean, it's only got about a 16 kilohertz bandwidth.
Can you work digital with that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's all I did. Like I say, I was making great contacts. Everybody heard me, but coming back and saying 73 was when they get clobbered. I'd look at the waterfall, and just where they were, others would come on and call CQ and wipe them out. So I was not getting a lot of my contacts that I actually did get a reading from. But anyways, yeah, that's it. Look over the site. There's a lot of stuff, and I'm going to update it next month. I'll give you some new updates.
There's even a parts list.
Yeah,
There's even a
it's
parts list.
I've expanded on that since I wrote that about 2 months ago. There's my ham shack. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the early model. It's way out there by the water. It's a different model than this one. This is a more updated one. And I'll also talk about that primary coil. I want to save some good stuff for the next month, but you notice that that coil is offset. If you look at a lot of the magnetic loops, they're right at the top. And I've discovered a lot of things about the construction of this thing.
Well, that'll be
You got an offset loop.
It's offset. It looks
Instead of
offset.
an offset dipole, you got an offset loop.
It's an offset loop. And I tell you, I had a lot of people on Facebook. They have a club on Facebook that's magnetic loop. And some of the people looked at that and they said, this will never work. It'll never work. You've got something wrong. It's totally wrong. The efficiency must be in the toilet. And they went on. Some of them really slammed me, for putting it off center. I said, you gotta be joking me. Come on, you don't know the theory, what's going on here.
Well, that's what Facebook users do most of the time. They find something that works and then slam it.
Yeah, but they didn't know their theory. That's the thing. They just didn't look into it like I did.
Well,
I
they
didn't put it on.
look at it as that's the way it's always been done. So that's got to be the only way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's reasons for doing it.
Well, it looks good.
Yeah. So that was, like I say, taken a few months ago, but it is only 1 foot off the ground.
Yeah, I definitely want to build one of those and play with them. I just got to get all the parts together and learn how to do it. So
when you get something on the air and you're actually talking to somebody, that's the thrill. It's why everybody goes QRP, right? A lot of people do 1 watt QRP and they get a signal halfway across the world and they're freaking out, throwing a party on the thing. That's what's fun. I mean, I realize I can't afford to put in an antenna up here where I'm at right now because I think the HOA would probably really balk. But something like Rich has with that antenna running 1,500 watts, wow, that's a dream I don't think I'll ever get. So I have fun at the other end.
that's what it's all about. It's having fun.
Yeah, having a ball.
All right.
Hey, we went past an hour.
Yeah. Anybody else got something they want to share for a little bit? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Kind of like when you get married.
You got a pretty tortoiseshell or a calico cat there, Jim.
Oh, it's a calico. Yeah, she's my buddy.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
How about y'all put together an extra class for those who want to go get their extra?
That'd be great. Reach out to Lowell Martin. He's the one that's doing all the classes. And we can do one, sure. We can do those online too.
Okay.
Oh, look,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Lowell's doing the classes now. Like I said, he wants to do a general because we just finished up a tech. But yeah, let him know you're interested in an extra, and we'll see if we can find a couple more people, and we'll put one on. Rich has volunteered to teach all of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's one I'm not sure I would want to teach. I'm just I learned it to pass the test, and I'm not an engineered heart or mind or anywhere in between, and I have to really study up for that. So, but I can do some things, I guess. All right, we're at 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
Again, one more time. I'm just let's find out who might be interested in the Texas QSO party. Get them time to put that together.
Oh, I might be.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
How about we just all shoot you an email, Rich, if we're ready, if we want to be in it. That way you have a list.
Yeah, I'm sure. And Jeff, you're going to be part. Are you going to be in it also? Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Yeah,
Are you gonna?
I should be back. Yeah.
Okay.
So both Jeffs will be in it.
And Tom will be in it.
All right.
I'll try to make it.
I noticed
You'll be there, Ron. You know you will.
as well as club. So, we'd have to decide which way we want to go.
Have to look and see what the rules are and all that. So we have just said we had 18 members that signed in on Zoom and 2 on YouTube. So that's pretty cool. At least we know somebody's watching YouTube.
How many on YouTube?
We're streaming live on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, how many people are watching? Or
Well, we got 2 that signed in. Somebody earlier said there was at least 3 on there earlier. Somebody may not have signed in. And it'll be available after the meeting. It'll compile it and make it into a video, and it'll be on the channel. So if you, for whatever reason, you want to go back and watch it, maybe you missed something, you can go back and pull it up on YouTube and skip to the part where you think you missed.
All righty.
Well, that's pretty good considering we're not meeting in person. I think we used to have about 25 total. So I'm going to try to send out an email again here before too long to people who have let their memberships expire, and maybe some new members that may not know about the monthly meeting on here. See if we can get some more people on here. Hey, Michael, are you still on here?
oh, W5MBF. Yeah, Mike.
There he is.
Where is he? Did he show?
He's muted.
There he is.
I'm here.
Hey, have you ever heard anything on your HOA stuff yet?
No, I'm still waiting to find out what they say. I'm fixing to go
Like I
walk
said,
around the neighborhood.
I'd put a flag connector at the top of it and stick it up.
I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about just going to getting a flagpole and just shoot it up.
Hey,
That's what I'm
Mike,
doing.
did you get a hold of Lowe? Mike,
Yeah.
did you get a hold of Lowe? About your interest in doing the net?
No,
Sure.
I emailed someone. I didn't know if they were going to shoot it off to Lowell or if I needed to get a hold of Lowell and do that.
Yeah, W5HG. Yeah, you should get a hold of him directly. What's his email address? I think it's I thought it was
W5HP@att.net.
I'll send Lowell a text. I got him by
yeah,
text.
Okay.
right. W5HP@att.net. Right.
Yep. All right, lady and gentlemen, enjoyed the meeting tonight. And our lady needs to get some of her female friends to join too, so we can have more ladies on the meeting. Always looking forward to having new members. Thanks, everybody, for participating tonight. And we'll see some of y'all at the next board meeting. And everybody's invited to call into the board meeting and listen in, see what's going on. Lately, there hadn't been a whole lot with COVID shutting everything down because there's not a whole lot you can do.
Are we all being safe?
Do what?
Are we all being safe?
We're trying on my side. But so I think, I don't know if it's on the calendar or not. I'll put it on the calendar to send out an
Go
email.
get my tennis shoes, please. From the living room so I can put them on.
So if nobody has anything else, we'll shut it down for the night. And Doyle, you can either get with me or Rich, either one, and we can show you how to do it. It's not hard. And then we can get those scores in there.
What Rich sent me, I can understand it now. I'll just go ahead and send it to him.
That'll work.
Everybody stay safe.
Yep. Everybody stay safe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you're interested in the Discord server and you're not a member yet, shoot me an email and I'll get you a link to join it. It's by invitation only. So we don't have just anybody and their grandmother joining our group. There's a couple of things I'm looking at adding to it. The guy that got me interested in Discord, they actually somehow rebroadcast their repeater over the Discord channel. So you can actually click on the channel there and listen to the repeater. he said there's not a lot of activity on it, but they can do it. So I'm gonna get with him and see how they're doing theirs. And that may be something we, want to look at. We can put either the 2 meter or 440 on there. 440 is probably more active, but we may can put them both on there.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Enjoyed it. Everybody have a good week. Stay safe.
You do the
All right.
same. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night.
Everybody.
All right.
Leave.